Oh my God, this is so exciting.
Hi! Hi, everyone!
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Leslie. Hi,
Hello.
Misha.
Hi. Hi, Alyssa. How are you? Leslie, where are you in the world right now?
I'm in LA.
Me too. Where
I-
are you, Misha?
I'm in Northwest Washington State. So
Ooh,
we're
beautiful.
we're far flung
Okay.
right now.
Nice.
Uh,
Beautiful. This is so exciting that this worked out.
I know. I'm so excited. I'm so thrilled.
Look, but I'm still wearing my pajamas on the bottom.
I
I
know
have
that's
to
right.
mention, I'm shooting
Okay.
I just got on my socks too.
super professional stuff, guys.
This
What
is a
you're about me.
professional system going on here.
Yes.
Is everyone super excited about this runoff?
It's
Yes.
yeah. It's
It's
absolute.
so
I mean,
important.
so
It's so
important.
important.
So important, and not only just for Georgia but for the entire country.
Yes.
It's really incredible, and we couldn't ask for two better candidates than the two candidates we have in Raphael, Warnock, and John Ossoff, who,
Oh, good
look
time.
at that,
Yeah.
look at
Yes.
that, were your ears ringing?
The, the men of the hour.
We thought
Hi,
we would drop
guys.
in. So,
I love it.
John,
Rev,
are you actually on a bus right now?
I am actually on the bus right now. We just finished a rally in LaGrange here in Troup County, and we're headed down to Columbus. So if the signal's a little spotty, y'all, it's because we're moving through the state, and it is a cool and rainy day in Georgia right now.
John, tell me what are the voters saying to you as you're out there campaigning?
I mean, there were just dozens of folks in a park in downtown LaGrange at 1:30 in the afternoon, standing in the rain because of how passionate people are about voting. And this is all about health, jobs, and justice for the people. I mean, to think about how far we've come in the American South and in Georgia, that right now you've got the young Jewish journalist, son of an immigrant, running alongside the senior pastor at Ebenezer Baptist Church to rally folks to get out to the polls and make a difference in these historic elections. It's just a testament to all the work that's been done over the last decade to register voters and organize communities and build this movement energy that we have in Georgia right now.
Well, the work you're doing is so incredibly important. But the thing I love is watching the two of you together. It seems like there is such camaraderie and support. And how great is that? Because you know how hard it is to campaign, but to do it with someone you love has got to be, making a big difference.
Yeah, Rev, can you hear us?
I can. I apologize. We were having a lot of technical issues here.
It's
Oh,
okay.
good.
I was just
John
saying.
Are you
Ossoff.
on the? Are you on your bus, Rev?
I'm sitting here holding holding this iPhone, and hopefully everybody gotta make it work. I'm on a bus. I think you're on your bus, and we're headed to the next event. There's a lot of energy on the ground, folks. A lot of excitement here in Georgia. People clearly understand what's at stake. And they know that although my name and John's name are on the ballot, that's not really what's healthcare is.
Reverend, you're a little bit hard to hear for me still. I don't know if you guys
Can
can.
you hear me?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Access to affordable health care is what's on the ballot. Living wage, voting rights.
Yeah.
Live
Every
streaming while you're
And
on bus
this
tours,
is the
but
work that we must do. People are waiting for COVID-19 relief, and they need it, and they need relief that centers the concerns of ordinary people, our frontline workers, our police officers, our health workers. They need a bill that takes seriously the magnitude of this problem.
Yeah, you mentioned voting rights, and I wanted to ask you guys a question. You both have a history with Representative John Lewis, and voting rights is on the ballot right now in Georgia, but not just for Georgia, for the whole country. Can you talk a little bit about John's legacy and his influence on you?
Rev?
Well, you know, I met John Lewis. Yeah, I met John Lewis when I was a student in college at Morehouse. I never dreamed I'd become his pastor years later as I assumed the pulpit of Ebenezer Baptist Church, where Martin Luther King Jr. served. And he is, if there's anybody who is synonymous with voting rights, it's John Lewis.
That's right.
And I was preparing to officiate his service this past summer. I was thinking to myself, what must he be thinking? What must a trench coat on and a backpack and facing troopers? Certainly he wasn't thinking years from now I'm going to be the recipient of a Presidential Medal of Freedom. He certainly wasn't thinking about any medals and really didn't have any reason to believe that he would win. I think too often we talk about these battles in the civil rights movement as if they were inevitable. They were actually quite improbable. He and Amelia Boynton, who was gassed on the bridge, Hosea Williams, others stood up. Martin Luther King Jr., Fannie Lou Hamer, Viola Luiso, a white woman who was among those who lost her life fighting for voting rights. Schwerner, Cheney, and Goodman, two Jews and African American who gave their lives in the dark days of Mississippi standing up for voting rights. They didn't have any reason to believe that they would win. They stood on the side of truth and justice and democracy. And we could certainly use just a fraction of that courage right now as we're witnessing people in high office in our country, including the two people that John and I are running against, literally waging war against our democracy. The people of Georgia have stood up, they've spoken clearly, they gave the electoral votes to John Lewis, and to this day, Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue cannot bring themselves to do the right thing, and they're not facing any real danger when you think about what these patriots like John Lewis and others face. They're focused on themselves. Georgia deserves two senators who will be focused on the people, and John and I were both inspired by John Lewis, and we hope to take just some sense of his spirit and commitment to this work.
And if I could just jump in, I just want to emphasize for everyone the stakes of these elections in Georgia and what we should dream about being able to achieve when we win.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I just want to remind everyone that is watching.
Like 2021, most productive. Go ahead, Alyssa.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to remind everyone that they can go to electjohn.com/early vote fund to make a donation, and every donation allows these two incredible men to reach Georgia voters wherever they are and make sure that that the voters have a plan to vote. And I just want to ask you both, what do grassroots supporters mean to both of your campaigns?
Well, Alyssa, just to finish off the thought, building on John Lewis' legacy, I really want grassroots supporters across the country and here in Georgia to know this, that in order for us to pass a new Civil Rights Act and a new Voting Rights Act, to pass the George Floyd Justice and Policing legislation, to pass the John R. Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act, we have to win these two Senate races, because Mitch McConnell will block all of that if he holds the Senate. And we have the power to make the next 2 years the most productive for civil rights and voting rights since 1964 and 1965. And when we do that, folks will look back on last summer's peaceful mobilization after the murders of Breonna Taylor and George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery as our generation's march across the Edmund Pettus Bridge, as our generation's Bloody Sunday of 1965, because it was the courage of Lewis and Boynton and Williams and the hundreds of others who marched that day, and the example that they set for all the country to see, that paved the way for passage of the Voting Rights Act in 1965. We're on the cusp of making so much progress, but we need the support of grassroots supporters in Georgia and across the country to do it, because McConnell, who wants to block all of that, McConnell, who wants to block a new Voting Rights Act, block a new Civil Rights Act, block an increase to the minimum wage, block affordable health care, block action on the environment. He's spending literally hundreds of millions of dollars attacking me and the Reverend. So I just want to humbly ask everybody who's tuned in to support our efforts here so that we can deliver for the people of Georgia and make progress as a nation and as a people.
I also want to say that in this time, I have to say this because I was watching both of you last night with Biden, and I'm 53 years old, so I've been through a lot of presidencies, a lot of. I lost hope along the way because I was like, there's not going to be another Kennedy, there's not going to be another Martin Luther King, there's not going to be any other politician that's going to come in and actually look like they care about the people. You know, it just doesn't even seem like that's going to ever exist anymore. And I'm trying to say this without being emotional, but when I was watching you guys last night, I had a really deep sense of, oh, I hope. I felt like, oh wow, if this guy we can fight. Like if they get in, they're gonna fight for us. Like for a long time, I hadn't felt that. You know, even when Obama went in, it was wonderful. It was a wonderful moment, but I knew Obama was gonna have to face people who wasn't going to let him do what he needed to do. And that's when I learned about Senate stuff. So it's like watching you guys, Reverend, that commercial that you do with the Christmas lights is literally one of the most wonderful things to watch because it just makes people go, okay, this is who I want taking care of me. This guy who's going to tell you about Christmas lights is going to also help you. Yeah. Yeah, it's about hope right now. And I think you guys really instill that.
And they both know Georgia, which is so incredibly important. Which the two senators Loeffler and Perdue, they don't know the struggle of the people in Georgia. They can't relate at all. What they relate to is basically everything that we fight against, right? But they're definitely not running on health, jobs, and justice.
No, they're not.
And that's what not only Georgia needs, but the entire country needs.
The entire country. That's what I was going to say. I mean, it's like just voting these two people in is going to, oh my goodness, can you imagine the things that Biden will be able to do? Can you imagine the things that we could see happen? People will actually start getting help. I mean, I really believe with these minds in Senate, I honestly think that you guys will turn people over in the Senate. I think you'll be so enthusiastic. People will be like, nah, I want to follow them. Like, I really feel like it could be such a great change.
And we should mention that early voting has already started.
Yes.
And already people are showing up in record numbers, which is incredible.
Indeed. Early voting started on December 14th. It ends on December 31st. And we're encouraging people to vote. Don't wait. Vote now. Vote early, in person, or vote by mail. Election day is January 5th, but I think that we're at a point where we shouldn't even be talking about election day. There's no more any such thing as election day. It's election season, especially in the pandemic. The last thing you want to do is wait until election day to vote.
Right.
And so vote now. Don't wait because the moment is urgent. We ought to vote like it's urgent. Vote by mail now. Vote in person now. And then spend January 5th just getting the last few folks in your circle, calling them, checking on them the night before. Have you voted? And then maybe spend that day getting other folks to the polls. But we need to have our votes deposited by December 31st.
Yes, y'all can go to iwillvote.com and vote early right now. iwillvote.com.
And and folks should know that the Rev and I are like texting all the time and talking to each other and kind of sharing the experience of campaigning at this moment, and what I'm feeling so profoundly, and it's to your point, Leslie, is that people are suddenly feeling hope again for the first time in 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we've
Yeah.
been in this fog
Yeah.
and our horizon has been lowered, and we've been set against one another, and there's been so much fear mongering and so much hatred. But like we have the opportunity, and everybody who's out there who's helping us, to dream again about big ideas and big ambitions for the state of Georgia, for the United States, for all humanity. Like, we should be talking again about how we can end poverty in this country, end
Yes.
homelessness in this country. We should be
Yes.
talking about the kinds of investments in infrastructure and clean energy that we can make to expand economic opportunity and also sustainability and save our environment. We should be talking about the efforts that the United States can lead toward peace on this planet.
Yes.
Let's dream about what's possible with victory. And I just want to ask everybody again to support our efforts. If you chip in $1 or $3, that helps us get out the vote, and it helps us protect voting rights. Because I really want people to hear this. Georgia's 2 United States senators are currently supporting efforts funded, organized, and launched from outside the state of Georgia to invalidate votes cast by Georgians.
Right.
They're trying to overturn the result of the election here, and they're aligning themselves with out-of-state interests who want to invalidate Georgia voters. And the only way that we protect the sacred franchise is by exercising it, so that we can then pass a new Voting Rights Act to secure the franchise for all American citizens. And so when you support our efforts, please know you're helping us protect voting rights in Georgia from these efforts to attack Georgia voters.
And again, you can go to electjohn.com/early vote fund to donate. Like John said, even just $1, everything really helps. And to reiterate, health, jobs, and justice are on the ballot. And we have just a tiny bit of time left to really decide the fate of the Senate.
And a lot of people have been asking me, like, who aren't in Georgia, what can I do to help support these 2 candidates in this election? And one thing you can do is make a contribution. Even if you've made a contribution already, make another contribution. There are really deep-pocketed Republican billionaire donors who are funding their opponents. And this kind of grassroots fundraising from lots of small donors is what's going to help turn the tide in this election. It's incredibly tight. You guys are both, locked in very tight races, and every dollar counts. And every text to your friend who lives in Georgia to remind them to get out and vote counts. And if you're in Georgia, please, 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 please vote. We need to win this for the future of America.
And there's phone banks that are going on every day to get out the vote. I have one this afternoon. You can look on my Twitter account so that we can phone bank, call people in Georgia to make sure that they have their voting plan and everything they need. Because again, we just have a tiny bit of time to really decide if we're going to stand with science or let COVID keep destroying so much of our nation, and whether Georgia is going to lead the way on, again, health, jobs, and justice.
Yeah, because this is about the people. This is about the people.
That's
and this
right.
is how we can prove that the people have a say, by voting in the people, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? So we got to get them in the office. These people represent us, so let's represent them. You know what I mean? Get out there, vote, donate, because the Republicans do have very deep pockets, and these guys are out here campaigning on just literally a dime, seriously, and we should help them.
I think we only have a few minutes left with you both. So if you have any last minute thoughts for everyone that's watching.
I want to let the Reverend close us out.
Well, on behalf of John and myself, I just want to say thanks to everybody for all that you are contributing financially and in terms of your volunteerism. Uh, all of the good energy and prayers being sent to Georgia, we are grateful. I often say that a vote is a kind of prayer for the kind of world that we want to live in. And our prayers, I think, are stronger when we pray together. So we got to vote together to stand up in this defining moment in American history. There are elections and then there are elections. To say that this is an election with consequences is an understatement. Tragically, we've learned this year that elections are a matter of life and death. And so we've got to vote like our lives depend on it because they actually do. I'm
Yes, they do.
hopeful in a dark moment.
Yeah.
Go ahead, John.
I say, yes, they do. Our lives do depend on it. Health, jobs, and justice depend on it. We can secure healthcare as a human right for the people. We can invest in infrastructure and jobs and clean energy. And we can pass civil rights and voting rights legislation to secure equal justice for all. It's simple where we need to head from here. Help us make it real. Thank you to all of you for tuning in. Thank you to y'all for putting this together. It's great to see you. Really appreciate it. And we'll keep you posted. Keep following us on social media because we'll keep giving updates from the road.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you both.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bring it home. Bring it home.